Is 6 o'clock, and that will begin the May 13th Granite Falls School Board session. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. And now we'll move to our land acknowledgement by Alyssa. When it comes up, you don't have to.
Try something. We honor the we honor the first. I know. We honor the first people of these lands by acknowledging that the area in which we gather is within the traditional territory of the Squamish tribe of Indians. The Squamish people have inhabited these lands and waters since time immemorial, and their descendants have remained in this territory to this day. The Squamish people have continued to practice the traditional ways of their ancestors, fishing, hunting, and gathering. The Squamish tribe has had these lands and cultured traditions passed on to them by their ancestors, who believe that everything has a spirit and that they are caretakers of these lands and waters.
Thank you. Okay, tonight in attendance, we have Director Farley, we have Director Panagas joining us on Zoom, we have Director Veach, Director Dane, myself, Director Ledoux, and Dr. Giesland. And then we also have our student reps. We have Catherine, Elijah, Serenity, Alyssa, and Thomas. Thank you all for joining tonight. Okay, item 4A, board comments. Director Farley, we'll start with you.
On May 5th, Director Dane and I attended the Facilities and Capital Projects Committee meeting, and it was great to see community people coming out to facilitate good spending of their money since they passed the levy, and really proud of the people that came to take part. On the 12th, we had a Fields Improvement Committee meeting that involved much of the same people. In fact, a larger group to a point. And then on last Saturday, I got to attend a track meet and learn a new appreciation for track parents.
It's a short venture. Well, thank you. Director Panagas, we'll go to you.
Not really, other than I just wanted to say I look forward to being able to join you in person very soon.
Thank you. Director Veach.
Thank you. Really, my comments are just around as we get closer to graduation and the end of the school year. Thomas, we enjoyed having you here with us, and congratulations on graduating so soon. I don't know which grade everyone is in, but congratulations to all of you for moving on to wherever the next one is. So a lot for me personally has been going on when it comes to things that seniors do and the school board stuff that goes along with that. But I guess the only thing I need to say is for the next couple of board meetings, I'll ask to be officially excused. I'm having a surgery next Wednesday, and so 4 to 6 weeks downtime. Since my job doesn't require me to lift 50 pounds repetitively, I assume I'll be on the 4-week part of that versus the 6-week. But so I'll ask to be excused just for a couple of board meetings. But otherwise, I believe that you all can handle it without me. So certainly we need Carol back too, because we need everyone here. And yeah, we look forward to you coming back, Carol, even if I'm not here. That's all.
Thank you. Director Dane.
All right. And I'm going to go along with Director Farley. He and I are working co-chair the Facilities Committee and the Athletic Fields Improvement Committees with the help of Tom Fitzgerald on the Athletic Fields Committee, and we have had tremendous support from the public coming to these meetings, taking their time out of their day, meeting in the high school library, which was last night I called sweltering because of the heat in that space. But we have amazing interactions and people with intimate knowledge in what's going on here. But they have, I think there was Marshall pointed out that last night we had over 40 students represented by the parents that were there, very interested in what we're going to do. And these committees are put together so that we can remain as transparent as possible with the promises that we're making or that we made with our levy committee, and getting that out to the public, getting that passed, giving us the opportunity to improve our schools, improve our athletic facilities. It's exciting. And it was just an honor to be there last night and last Tuesday.
Thank you. From my side, so yes, graduation, Crossroads, the high school, transition program. So those will all be, the high school, the 5th, I'm trying to remember, 5th for the high school, 3rd for Crossroads, 10th for transition. So I think I got all those right, which I pat myself on the back. So those are all coming super fast. I still can't believe it's already May. It goes by so quickly. I went to the track meet as well. Yeah, I mean, there's, especially like the kids as they're out there there's so much stuff going on at any given time. And I still always look to find a typo or it feels like a typo when I see the 3,200 meter and I'm calculating, I'm like, that's 2 miles. And I'm like, this kid runs it in 9:50. So very impressive student athletes out there. And then I'm surprised might steal a little bit of Bill's thunder here, but the fire program too. So the fact that, this is going to be coming in, I'm sure maybe Dr. Giesland will talk about this a little bit more, but kind of an alternative or like a primary selection opportunity for our students that are interested in fire service, actually staying in town and doing that here. So I'm sure there'll be more of that to come, but that's a really exciting, and bravo to Dr. Giesland and also Director Dane too, for really heading this stuff up. Now we'll go over to student reps if you have anything, Catherine.
This Sunday we have a jazz band performance at Five Rights in Marysville. That is from 1 to 3 p.m. I believe. Again, it's in Marysville, so it's a little bit of a drive, but it's one of the last performances that they'll be having.
Thank you. Elijah?
At Crossroads and Open Doors, we've had success in our ASVAB tests, leading students to their pathways, which is always nice. Miss Davis has also been a really welcome addition to the Crossroads family. So,
Thank you.
So state testing is kind of doing well, but after that we're doing a field day for middle school, and then June we have 8th grade celebration.
We had a couple events happen. We had prom on the 2nd in Snohomish. It was a success. Before then, we had the National Honors induction ceremony at the high school where we had 19 or 20 inductees into the society. Also, ASB elections happen and the results are getting posted tomorrow. And also we have Night of the Arts, which is May 21st, where band performs, theater performs a poem or like a piece, and all like the ceramics and the fine arts get shown for not just the high school, but for the middle school.
Nice. Thank you. Thomas?
Last Saturday, which is the 9th, the jazz band performed at the Eagles as a fundraiser, and we raised funds. I don't actually know how much, but we played and it went well. So
funds were raised. It was a success.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, appreciate it. We'll move on to item 4B, the superintendent report presented by Dr. Giesland.
Great, thank you. Before we jump into that, I wanted to commend Thomas, our senior, as our board rep, but Thomas is also being recognized. We have the WASA Awards. So our region, WASA is our state organization for administrators. And every district gets to honor some community members, and then if they want to, a student, and then someone internal. So Thomas is being recognized for his leadership. Thomas comes over and works and supports our office and all the things board related. He's been on the board for a couple of years now, and I keep threatening him that I'm gonna somehow allow him not to graduate, because he is just so lovely on every level. It's always hard to, no matter when you teach and what you do, it's always hard to see our kids go, but we do want them to go and do great things. So we're just so proud of him and his academic achievements and his dedication to all things scholarly. So he is going to change the world, and I'm here for it. So congratulations, Thomas. We are really looking forward to recognizing you on Friday, and we really will let you graduate. And then Eileen Brower is our recipient in district. She was here a few months ago. She leads our transition program that is just a couple years old here in Granite Falls. It used to be a program that for our 18 to 22-year-olds that was out of district, and it's in district. So thank you, Rachel Quarterman, for your leadership there and for Eileen's incredible work. And our kids are engaged across our community and learning really important life and work skills. And then lastly, we will be recognizing Allison King and Megan Rice, who are our levy chairs as our community partners. They did an incredible job of, telling our story and getting the word out. In fact, so much so that last night when we were at the athletic field committee meeting, that was heard by the community members that were at the table. They were like, boy, you guys really did a good job of getting information out about the district and the levy and the ask and what it was and all of the things. And so we want to recognize that when people step up. It was hundreds, if not thousands of hours that they put in volunteering their time and energy. They are two really special people. So we are incredibly grateful for them. So congratulations, Thomas. I look forward to celebrating you on Friday.
Thank you.
All right, we will jump in. Just a quick superintendent update, and then we'll get on to some business things, and then also honoring Pim. So this spring and summer, we will do some significant work around our strategic planning. There's some information there, but we have a shell of a strategic plan that is available online, and the board and I will work on that. And our leadership team will work on it to get some key performance indicators. It's great to have a plan. If you don't have some measurable things within that plan, then you don't know if you're making progress or not. So those are some of the framework commitments that could change a smidge as we go through. But bottom line is that, we are a small system. We want to make sure every child is known. Literacy will be the cornerstone of our work for the next several years. We believe that literacy is a human right, and it is the key for accessing other parts of your education. So lots there, safe and warm and welcoming students. You all know how important student voice is. It is amazing to have 5 students here at a board meeting telling us how it's going. We also have our Tiger Cabinet. We get lots of feedback from our students on, what their experience is like and what we can do better in our system. So DLT doesn't know it. I know we have a couple of principals over here, but that's some of the work we're going to do. We added a meeting end of May to start, handing those components out so that we can get some KPIs under there, and then we'll get that to the board and do that work this summer. Next slide. And Director Ledoux alluded to this. We are really excited about our new fire science program. Thank you to Granite Falls Fire. They have been incredible partners in this work. So we will be offering fire science as a pathway. It is a half-day program. It will start in the fall. And I know that Director Dane kind of had this idea, and we've been talking about it, a new station, which has been your baby for a few years now. But we have an incredible training facility right here in our backyard. And so fire science is offered through Snow Owl, which is our skill center, but we only get a few students, maybe 2. We have 3 right now that are allowed in the program because it's a regional program. Last year, Snow Owl had 181 students who wanted to be in fire science who weren't able to. That pathway doesn't just lead to to being a firefighter. It could be a number of other things. It could be a career in health services. It could be nursing. It could be a PA, all of the things, EMS in some way, shape, or form. So we are working on our ILA with Granite Falls Fire, and our students will take half day there and then half day the remainder of the day at Granite Falls High School or at Crossroads. I can't say enough about the partnership and the time that everyone has committed to making this lift happen. And Granite Falls Fire came in to our high school and met with kids and just answered questions. And that was fantastic. And we have a lot of kids who have signed up for that to be part of their program and their pathway. All right. Director Dane and Director Farley alluded to this, but we have been meeting with our community. It's really important that we get community input on the work we're going to do, both on the athletic field improvement side and then also on the energy efficiencies and HVAC systems and all of that work. So we are doing that work and talking through our committees. The one committee is that long-term facilities planning. And so some of the conversations that we're having there is really keeping an eye on, as we work through the 4 years of this levy, on the levy expenditures and what we're spending. Ultimately, the board decides what we're going to spend money on, but this committee can make recommendations to the board, which I know that the board will listen to and honor. We did want to announce that one of the things we promised in our, as we advertised the levy and talked about the levy, was that we would go out for grants and rebates and all of the things to get money back so that we could do more with our levy dollars. And we were awarded a $200,000. We don't have the exact amount, but we think, Marshall, I think it's right around there, but about $200,000 has been awarded to our district through the Department of Commerce. And we're really excited about that because that's making good on the work that we said that we would do on the backside. There's lots of planning when you implement new HVAC systems across 5 very, very large buildings. And so that work behind the scenes is being done with Millig, who we are contracting with. And we have a few other opportunities for some grants and things out there. So we'll keep everyone posted as we hopefully access those. And we're able then to do some more maybe on the back end if we can access some of these funds. And Marshall, business report.
I'll go fairly quickly too, just because it's that time of year where nothing's really changing, except for things we have to do. Some highlights: enrollment has been steadily declining, but we'll end up around about 2,200 FTE once worksite learning is added. Our budget was 2,194, so we're kind of right at budget. Enrollment's been declining pretty steadily at the high school all year. Kind of deep dive into it. We've had 35 students transfer out of district. We've had 16 students transfer over to Crossroads and Open Doors. We've had 14 students for various reasons, meaning that they don't need as many credits the second half of the year, or they're taking more classes at Running Start. Their FTE has declined, and 3 students returned to homeschool, all at the high school level. General fund, we're basically at 0. Which is $912,000 better than we were last year. $400,000 worse than budget though. Safety net, our estimate is $1.9 million. And just a reminder that community impact went away, which for us was $350,000 every year. So that has gone away. And then audit exit conference, tentatively scheduled for the 21st. And there's lots of facilities work going on. Pretty much a full-time job right now. Millig's been out 2 times for extended periods of time doing audits and planning. We have calls with Millig every 2 weeks about the status of that. They think that they'll have the planning phases done by the next call in 2 weeks. They think we'll have budgets ready for us, costs and options about that time as well. They'll have some planning about how long they'll be in buildings about that time. And then they'll want to kind of present that data to the board probably in early June study session or board meeting or something. And Millig's going to come to each of our next 2 facilities meetings. They're going to come to the first Tuesday of the month master facilities meeting, and then the second Tuesday of the month athletic fields meeting to help us get met by the public, to help the public understand what they're doing behind the scenes. And the grant that Dana talked about pays for 100% of their planning that they're doing for us. So all that is now not having to come out of our levy money. 100% of it is being paid for out of this grant that we just got. Next slide, Dan. Quick snapshot of enrollment. It's kind of an eye chart as the year gets bigger because there's a month for a column for each month. But it's been declining mostly at the high school level all year. It's been going up and down everywhere else. The decline throughout the year is a trend that tends to happen at the high school just as kids get their credits or kids decide to do more running start classes. The enrollment tends to decline throughout the year at the high school. Next slide. Quick snapshot of where we are on all of our funds. We're good everywhere. We are expecting to be about 2.6 million for the general fund, which would be about 6%. All of our other funds are doing fine. One more slide. And a quick look ahead. Exit conference for the audit is probably going to be May 21st. The MILG is still doing deep dives into HVAC and lighting needs. They have had some sessions with PSE and our energy companies and are identifying all the rebates we can get, which they will present that to us probably in 2 weeks as well. They have, without promising us too much, they have said the rebates will be very significant. We have some choices to make on some of the lighting upgrades we're going to do that would give us more rebates and more energy savings in the long run, but a little more cash out of our pocket up front. So we'll have to, as a board, make the decision of do we want to lay out this money up front and get some more savings down the line, or what makes the most sense. We have the resolution in the budget today about the front loading of the LGO bond, the front loading of some of our capital projects money so we can do things and offset the likelihood of significant inflation. That, if approved by the board today, would fund on May 27th. So that money will be in our capital projects fund the next day. So we can start doing projects this summer. Talked about the ALE audit. We should have those results along with our regular audit results. And talk about the committees. We're working on budget. MILG would like to present their energy audit results and some proposals for savings, grants, order of doing things to the board in one of the next couple of board meetings. And then obviously lots going on projects wise. It's going to limit probably our ability to do some of the things that we normally do over the summer, like painting and flooring, doing the floors and stuff. Because we're going to be doing the MILG is going to be on our floors. They said probably don't want to clean your floors before we're there. You want to do it after we're there. And they're going to spend probably a month in each of the schools over the summer. They're going to try and do them both at the same time, but it is dependent on if they can get enough contractors to be able to do 2 schools at once, but it might be 1 school and then the next school. And I think that's about it.
Any questions from the board? All right, next slide. Commercial Executive Director Moore.
A few updates for us this evening. As we know from Serenity, SBA testing is well underway. We are deep in it. Special thanks to our technology department and all of our testing buildings. Huge shout out to Mesa Hall, Jenny Yamasaki, Mick Kimball, and also Tracy Moore, who's not listed up there, but I'll add her to it, who are our building testing coordinators. It's quite a heavy lift to test all 3rd through 12th graders. Well, 3rd through 8th, and then 10th graders and some 11th graders. So huge shout out. Next week on Tuesday, our district leadership team, which is comprised of all of our building admin, will be walking through Crossroads and Open Doors. That will be our last school walkthrough of the year. We're very excited to come and visit our lovely and wonderful students and teachers at Crossroads. We do visit each school throughout the year. It's a real opportunity for us to share some time together and do some leader learning. And we want to shout out to Mr. Mueller at ALE manager and the staff at Crossroads for opening their doors to us. Crossroads open doors for opening their doors. As Dr. Giesler talked about program review, we are in phase 3. So we are finishing, I will be finishing hopefully the last submission this Tuesday, the 19th. We're excited for this process to close. It closes officially on June 2nd. And a shout out to the team for all the work that has been done to do this work. It's basically a very, very involved tax return. That's what it is. And then, but in this case, the IRS comes back to you with more requests, and then you send them, and then the IRS comes back to you with more requests. So it's like doing taxes 3 times. Current work for the spring. 'Tis the season now for, as you know, no educational institution operates without oversight. Contrary to maybe some popular belief, everything that we do is under a microscope at all times. And part of that is compliance reporting. And so we are working on reporting our literacy growth this year, BEST reporting, ESCA consolidated end of year reporting. And those are all reports that are part of our process for securing funding for next year for different categorical programs. A big thing, our Skyward is updating as of spring break 2027. The great cumulative migration will be happening, so we are ramping up for that. And I just met with principals today to make certain that we are on track for school improvement end of year reporting and staffing and more. So that work is all happening. And just to put it back on your radar board, the secondary science team has been rocking it with this work around secondary science pacing guides. And they are coming to a decision about what materials to pilot for the 26-27 school year. Huge shout out to this team, especially the middle school team, but all of them for all of the work that they are doing. We actually have a pacing calendar in draft form. It is pretty beautiful. Still some work to be done, but super proud of that team. So those are updates from teaching and learning. Any questions for me? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great. All right. We have our friends from the American Legion here, and I think that they are honoring someone in the audience. So please come on up and tell us what you've got.
Before I start, I have to give a shout out. The jazz band was fantastic last weekend. And I'm going again this week. I'm a grandmother, so I go to all the jazz and stuff. They were fantastic.
They are so good.
I'm Celine Sweeney. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran. U.S. Navy veteran. He's our commander. I'm the finance officer. I'm also the sexton at the American Legion Cemetery here in Granite Falls. And over this last year, we've had many students coming out and working at the cemetery, bless their hearts. They work so hard. I really appreciate it. They get the community hours, and the cemetery is just looking fantastic thanks to them. But around Christmas time, I was reading that that BLA was having a program where the students wanted to develop a logo for some of the new businesses in town that did not have a logo. I thought, we do not have a logo at the cemetery. So I contacted them and immediately got a reply back that Kim was available and she wanted to work with us to create a logo. You think that would be easy, but this American Legion Cemetery boards, it was not real easy. They said it had to be round. You can see up here, and I also have a copy here. And they were going to put a mountain behind it, but it had to be a special mountain. It had to be Mount Pilchuck. And we wanted flags. And then we had crosses on. We thought, well, we should have a non-denominational because we couldn't figure out what symbols we should have on there. So after a lot of discussing and our committee members and working very closely with Kim, this is what she came up with, and we were very proud of it because we do not have a logo. We have a logo for the American Legion, but now we have a round logo for the cemetery. And we're really trying to become a part of the community, a stronger part. We've been here over 100 years, probably 130 years. We've been around a long time, and I thought it was time to get a logo. So we're really thankful for Kim. So if you want to come up, Kim. So this is a certificate of appreciation. It's grateful. This certificate of appreciation is gratefully presented to Conchana in recognition and sincere appreciation of outstanding service and assistance which contributed to the achievement the American Legion programs and activities dedicated to God and country. Presented by American Legion Post 125. Thank you very much, and we really, really appreciate it. It's just a beautiful logo. I'm really excited. How many logos you did?
I will say there are 4 slides in her presentation that go through the editing process.
Oh, good.
And there were probably 150 in those 4 slides of edits that she composed.
But how many students were doing?
Oh,
logos
so
for the community?
for this specific event, I had 2 students compete in graphic design.
And the other company or
the other one was the Granite Falls Food Bank and Coalition. So their request was to merge their 2 logos together, and that one was completed by Courtney Schramm and Eli Ritchie, and it was a beautiful logo as well. So
well, thank you very much. We appreciate what this is.
we look forward to partnering with more people in the future.
Could we have the American Legion reps and then also Pam come up and we'll take a picture with the board too, and then we'll honor her on our website as well. All of you, yeah.
Are we standing behind?
We can stand behind.
Yeah, you stand behind American Legion. Pim, you stand in front.
Yeah, Pim, you need to be front and center.
Front and center, Pim.
Front center. We'll squish over.
Can we see everybody in the back?
Nope. You guys are the most important anyway.
Yeah. Okay, ready? There we go. That's great. 1, 2, 3. Let's do one more. And I'm actually perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Scratch Pim.
Thank you for letting us.
I need one. You get to put on your resume. I am responsible for the only logo that the American Legion has ever had, right? For 125 years.
Yeah,
like
right
that's,
before we leave. Yeah.
That's something not really anybody else actually gets to say. Nobody else gets to say that.
Right.
So,
and hopefully it's there for a while. So.
I mean, we got 130 years, so we have to do it again.
Right.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
And next slide, Dan. Next slide. These are the pictures of, sorry, I apologize, I announced this ahead of time, but Thomas, there you are in all of your glory. So congratulations again to our winners. And then lastly, we have just a few upcoming events. This is probably a little bit of a light list. There are so many things happening in May and early June. And there's some nights are a little bit of a conflict. I think on May 21st, there's a number of things. So some of us will be at the Rotary Scholarship Night out at Marysville, and some of us will be at Night of the Arts. We'll try to make it so we can be at different things. On May 21st, also, there is our last Tiger Cabinet meeting of the year. We have some local legislators and some new people to Tiger Cabinet, like Snohomish Council member Nate Naring. We're going to flip it a little bit. Usually our students ask our legislators and things questions, and this time around, they're going to ask you some questions. So it's going to be great for them to hear from our students and our students to do some nice speaking in front of adults so they don't know, and give them some feedback on what it's like to be a kid today and what it's like to be in the Granite Falls School District. So we're excited about that. I'm trying to get a donation of food from maybe a restaurant that's very popular with our students, but if I don't get it, I don't want to tell y'all what it is and then have people say, gosh, I thought you were going to get this. And I don't. So hopefully we'll have something more than donuts at this meeting. I'll leave it there. But lots going on. And our sports seasons have wrapped up with the exception of playoffs and different things. So our track team, people who have qualified for districts will be competing. Our baseball team lost out last week in playoffs. Softball, Dave?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Saturday.
Okay. And then our golfers that qualified in the fall, and they competed last night and they did not make it to state, but it's quite an honor to compete at district. So we're really proud of them in that inaugural season. So lots going on, and we're looking forward to celebrating all the things that come with spring in the school district. That's it.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions, comments? No? Okay. Moving to item 5A, items from the floor. Do we have any? No? Okay. 6, unfinished business. We have none. Moving on to 7, new business. I'll open it up by saying I'd like to make a motion that we pull item 7E, first reading of policy 1610, conflicts of interest, for a later date.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
I saw Carol. I saw her lips move.
He said aye.
He's still muted.
Here, I can, let me go real quick.
Yeah, we'll see that.
We'll go to item 7A, adopting the resolution 2526-13 LGO bond. Any discussion? I guess I'll open it up by saying this is, we've had quite a bit of discussion on this during study sessions and stuff like that too. This is from our capital levy. We're pulling money forward through effectively a loan so that we can get stuff done now that needs to be done. So any comments?
It was really positive comments back from the community about using money wisely.
Yeah. Money is not getting cheaper. And actually, Mr. B brought up a really good point. I was talking with Marshall and Mr. B at the track meet on Saturday, and Dave brought up a good point too. He's like, turf fields are petroleum based, aren't they? Yep. And so we all know what gas prices are doing right now, and anything that's refined is I think it's risky to put it off at all. So yeah, if no other comment, then I will like to make a motion that we adopt resolution 2526-13 LGO bond. Or actually, we need to do a roll call. So I will pause for a second. So I'll make that motion that we do it, and then I'll go through and I'll call on each director, and you will say yay or nay. Okay. So Director Farley.
Yay.
Okay. Director Panagas.
Yay.
Director Veach.
Yay.
Director Dane.
Yeah.
And I, Director Ledoux. Yay. So 5 yays, 0 nays, 0 abstain. Okay. Moving on to 7B, first reading of policy 2023, digital citizenship. I wanted to give a quick little
Roll them all out.
pause the policy.
It is a WASDA policy update, and there's an addition to this around communications developed with AI and receiving some education around digital citizenship, and then safety issues and those kind of things, and in accordance with our board policy around electronic resources and internet safety. This is the WASDA recommendation.
Evolving landscape, adjusting with the times. Any comments, questions?
I just think, I mean, being where I work, right? I think giving some kind of guidance around the use of AI, and you can't just copy paste from ChatGPT into a document, which then somehow makes it your essay. And that, I think, drawing those lines and being clear about AI versus plagiarism versus verifying the source, even I think it's smart, but then also I like seeing in here the cyberbullying awareness and the kind of appropriate. You don't know what everyone is hearing otherwise, so I'm glad to see that it's being added.
Yeah, and actually, I'll use the moment too to say to students and anybody here that's going forward. I mean, I live in AI in my day job all the time. So many organizations when AI first came out, right, made the same mistakes that I actually see a lot of students making, and these are, you know, mature adults that are CEOs of organizations, and their mistake is replacement versus augmentation. When I say that, I mean the idea that, hey, I can fire these 500 people from my organization because we have AI and it can replace these individuals. And what they're finding is that that's not actually, the market's not adapting to that well or approving of that. AI is really, the intention and the best use of it is for augmentation. When I say that, it means you still have your own mind, but you're using AI to augment your capabilities. If you want to learn about something faster, it's a fantastic tool. If you want to refine something, grammar check. I actually created a little kind of like a fake image of a new proposed football field in like 10 seconds on AI. So it's really good to augment your capabilities, right? It saves me the time of 3 hours of trying to hand draft something. But it's not replacing an individual. And so that is one thing that I would really say that, this is just more of a public service announcement is yes, no copy and paste, like using it to augment your capabilities. And like, you have a first draft and to go through it and like, how can I improve this? And how can I use AI to get the information instead of combing through the catacombs of Google and trying to find the right sources that you want, use AI to distill the sources for you and then learn that information and then use it in your own words that they're going forward. So I'll get off my soapbox for a moment, but I'll just say that. Anyway, any other comments? No. Okay, so I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the first reading of policy 2023, digital citizenship.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Okay, 7C.
Carol say aye.
I said aye. 7C, first reading of policy 2140, comprehensive school counseling program.
So all schools in Washington State were required to have this policy, and it looks like it was never put before the board. This is something that I did a significant amount of work on in my last system. And so there was a comprehensive school counseling review done in Granite. We just don't have the board policy in place for some reason. And so this is WASDA's recommendation. There's an addition back here on the second page around some other components. It's very light, but we just need to get this on the books. The biggest thing is in recognition of the work that ASCA has done. That's the national organization, and our school counselors spending 80% of their time serving students and with students, and 20% of their time on other things. So it's kind of framing that up, and that's what it says in our WASDA policy.
Someone just took my comment. My discussion comment was I appreciated seeing the 80-20 split, that it's percent of the time is direct and indirect support of students and not more than 20% on planning and school support activities. That follows our student first initiative, right? So I was glad to see it in there.
To make a motion that we adopt first reading of policy 2140, comprehensive school counseling program.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 7D, first reading of policy 1105, electoral system.
This is the same. This is one we don't have on the books, and it is a WASDA policy that needs to be in our repertoire.
Can I ask a question? My question, number one, receipt of federal census data. It says no later than 8 months after the following. So is this a thing that we must do every time the census comes out? Or
census is only every 10 years.
Right. But I'm saying, is it something that we must do, or does the census have to change in a certain amount or something? Or do we have to employ somebody to redistrict us for every 10 years to double check that the lines are the same way? I couldn't figure that out.
I believe that we need to look at it every time a census comes out and make sure that our districting lines are what we want them to be. So we did some significant work last year on looking at, if we went to K5s, where would those lines be? And you take things into consideration, balance of students and demographics and all of those things. So I do believe that this requires the district, every time there's a census, you look at that data and then you make informed decisions based upon that.
Yeah. There's been conversation in the past in Granite Falls about why we have different district numbers in a small town, but I think the intent is to not have 5 people from the same neighborhood on the school board, and the whole rest of the town is not represented, right? So that's why none of us are neighbors with each other. So, okay, I just wasn't clear. I was like, oh, since we didn't have this thing, it sounds like we better keep that in mind.
Well, and I'll admit, electoral system threw me off. I was like, I don't remember any electoral college or anything. I remember a vote. Okay. Any other comments?
I guess one other thing was when I very first got on the board 6-ish years ago, so maybe closer to 7, I do remember that they had moved the lines a little bit, or there was like one district that the line moved a little bit. So it's not like we hadn't done work, but we didn't have the policy that says it like we're saying it now. So I appreciate that we're doing that.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the first reading of policy 1105 electoral system.
1 second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, 7. You'll get them next time, Craig.
Okay.
7F, first reading of policy 1731, board member expenses. We incur so many.
Yes, this is WASDA's recommendation. I anticipate it's that just to clean it up and make sure things are reasonable when we're traveling. The board doesn't travel to many conferences, just the WASDA conference in November, so it kind of applies to that.
Yep. Any discussion, questions on that? All right, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt first reading of policy 1731, board member expenses.
Okay, I will second that.
Thank you, Greg. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then the consent agenda. Any discussion on the consent agenda? Was there anything you added? All right, with no discussion, the consent agenda passes with unanimous consent. It is 6:46, and that adjourns this meeting of the Granite Falls School Board.
You can put your papers